Here's the truth that's been right in front of you this whole time. Willpower is a scam. Not partially, not sometimes. Completely. And the entire productivity industry has been selling you this lie for decades, making you believe that the reason you can't stick to your goals is because you're weak. Because you lack discipline. Because deep down, you just don't want it badly enough. Listen to me carefully. You've been trying to win a game that was rigged from the start. You've been pushing a boulder up a mountain while someone keeps making the mountain steeper, telling you that if you just tried harder, had more grit, more self-control, you'd make it to the top. But here's the truth. The most successful people you know aren't more disciplined than you. They're just better architects. Think about this for a moment. Have you ever wondered why you can scroll through your phone for 2 hours without effort, but sitting down to write for 20 minutes feels like psychological warfare? Why you can binge watch an entire season in one night, but reading 10 pages of that book you bought feels impossible? The answer isn't willpower. It's your environment whispering instructions to your brain every single second. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Not how to develop superhuman self-control, not how to become a discipline machine, but how to stop fighting against yourself and start designing spaces that make the right choices feel effortless. Because that's the secret. That's what they don't tell you. Let's start with the lie you've been told. You've been told that successful people wake up at 5 a.m. because they have iron willpower, that they resist temptation through sheer mental strength, that discipline is a muscle you build through suffering. And if you're struggling, it's because you haven't suffered enough yet. This is nonsense. Beautiful, profitable nonsense. Here's what actually happens in your brain. Every single decision you make costs something. Neuroscientists call it decision fatigue, but that's too clean, too academic. What really happens is that your brain is running a constant energy calculation. Should I do this hard thing or this easy thing? Should I resist this or give in? And here's the trick. Your brain doesn't care about your goals, not really. Your brain cares about one thing above all else: conserving energy. It's a biological machine that evolved over millions of years to keep you alive, not to help you build a startup or learn Spanish or go to the gym. So when you sit down in front of your laptop, phone next to you, notifications pinging, Netflix one click away, and tell yourself, today I'm going to write for 3 hours through pure willpower, you're not being ambitious, you're being delusional. Think about what you're asking your brain to do. You're asking it to resist the easiest source of dopamine in human history, engineered by thousands of the world's smartest psychologists and developers, using nothing but determination. You're asking it to choose the hard path when the easy path is literally 6 inches away from your hand. This isn't a fair fight. This is bringing a knife to a nuclear war. And when you fail, because of course you fail, you blame yourself. You think, I just need more discipline. You buy another productivity book. You watch another motivation video. You promise yourself that tomorrow will be different. But tomorrow won't be different, because the environment is still the same. Now let me tell you something that might completely change the way you see productivity. Your willpower isn't weak. Your environment is loud. Imagine for a moment that you're trying to have a quiet conversation in a nightclub. The music is blasting. People are shouting, lights are flashing everywhere, and someone tells you, just focus harder, just concentrate. That's not a focus problem, that's an environment problem. Your physical space is constantly speaking to your brain, and most of the time it's screaming contradictions. You want to read, but your phone is on the table. You want to work, but your bed is 5 feet away. You want to eat healthy, but the cookies are in the cabinet at eye level while the vegetables are hidden in the drawer. Every single object in your environment is a suggestion, a whisper, a vote for one behavior over another. And here's what's beautiful about this. Once you understand that your environment is making decisions for you, you realize something profound. You don't need to become more disciplined. You need to become a better designer. Think about it like this. Imagine your mind is a garden. You've been trying to grow flowers by yelling at them, telling them to grow faster, to be stronger, to have more willpower. But flowers don't respond to motivation speeches. Flowers respond to soil, sunlight, water, and space. Your behaviors are the same. They don't respond to promises or guilt or determination. They respond to friction, proximity, visibility, and ease. This is the revelation that changes everything. Let me give you an example, a real one. There was a study where researchers wanted people to eat more fruit. They tried education. They tried motivation. They tried showing people statistics about health benefits. Nothing worked consistently. Then they did something absurdly simple. They put the fruit bowl on the counter instead of in the fridge. That's it. No speeches, no willpower, just change the location. Fruit consumption went up by 50%. Do you see what happened there? They didn't make people more virtuous. They made virtue more convenient. They reduced the friction between desire and action from opening a fridge, finding the drawer, and pulling out fruit, to simply reaching out your hand. 3 seconds of friction. That's the difference between success and failure. And you're over here trying to solve this with discipline? Here's another truth. The most productive people you know aren't resisting temptation all day. They've removed temptation from their environment entirely. They don't have social media apps on their phones during work hours. They don't keep junk food in their houses. They don't work from their bedrooms. They're not more disciplined. They're just not fighting battles they don't need to fight. Now let's go deeper. Because this isn't just about productivity tricks. This is about understanding something fundamental about human nature, about how you actually change, about what it means to build a life instead of fighting through one. You weren't born to resist. You were born to flow. Think about the times in your life when you've been most productive, most creative, most alive. Were you gritting your teeth and forcing yourself forward? Or were you in a state where action felt natural, where the next step was obvious, where you looked up and 3 hours had passed without pain? That's not willpower. That's alignment. That's what happens when your environment and your intentions are speaking the same language. Here's the profound part. When you design your environment well, you're not just making tasks easier. You're removing the constant background noise of decision-making. You're freeing up mental energy for what actually matters. Creativity, connection, deep thought, real work. Every time you have to resist temptation, you burn cognitive fuel. Every time you have to make a decision between the easy path and the right path, you pay a cost. But when the environment is designed correctly, the easy path and the right path become the same path. And that's when transformation happens, not through force, through design. Think about it like this. You could spend your whole life strengthening your arms so you can push a plane down a runway. Or you could just get in the cockpit and use the engines. The plane is designed to fly. You don't need to force it. Your life is the same. When you stop trying to muscle through everything with discipline and start asking, how can I design this to be easier? Everything shifts. You move from exhaustion to ease, from resistance to flow, from fighting against yourself to working with yourself. This is about reclaiming your energy for what matters. This is about respecting the fact that you're human, with a brain that operates according to principles, not platitudes. And here's what no one tells you. This is actually the more respectful approach. Willpower culture treats you like you're broken, like you need to be fixed through suffering. Environment design treats you like you're intelligent enough to solve the problem at its source. It says, you're not weak, your setup is. So now I want you to think about your own life. Where have you been blaming yourself for lack of discipline when really your environment was sabotaging you? Where have you been trying to build willpower when you should have been removing obstacles? What would change if you stopped trying to become more disciplined and started designing better systems? I want you to do something for me. Look around your space right now, your desk, your room, your phone, and ask yourself, is this environment voting for the person I want to become or against them? Because every moment your environment is casting votes, and most of us have set up our lives to vote against ourselves, then wondered why we keep losing elections. Here's what I want you to do. Write in the comments below with just one sentence. My environment has been voting against me by, and complete it. Just one thing. One way your space has been making the wrong choice easier than the right one. Don't judge yourself for it. Just see it clearly. Because clarity is the first step of design. And if this idea resonated with you, if you felt something shift in how you see productivity and discipline and change, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell notification. Because we're going to keep exploring these deeper truths about how you actually transform. Not through force, but through understanding. Hit the like button if you're ready to stop fighting yourself and start designing for yourself. Remember this. You are not a machine that needs more discipline. You are a human being that needs better design. You are not weak. You are brilliant. Brilliant enough to stop playing a rigged game and start changing the rules. Your environment shapes you every single day. It's time to shape it back. Now go redesign something, just one thing, and watch what happens.